Welcome to another episode of One Stop Live. Today we're here with Haider Khan, Product and Solution Manager from Huawei. Welcome, Aiden. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Didi, for inviting me again.
Great to see you, sir. Hi, Hader. Welcome to the show. We've been doing some really exciting things with Huawei in the background, which we think you guys, our viewers, are going to be really excited about. So thanks, Hader, for your support and help in this. How are you going, sir?
Yes, pretty good. Depressing lockdown stay-at-home orders these days in New South Wales. That's a bit depressing.
It's a
But
little bit, but we're getting lots of work done.
yeah, apart from that, I think it has been good. Especially the last month, I think things have picked up a bit. We had a slow March and April. I think that was across the industry. You guys would have been feeling the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a bit of a slowdown, but at the same time, I think one of the things that happens with lockdown is that consumers start thinking about their home more, and so they've got time to actually call installers and plan installations. So I think there's an upside, sadly, to this in terms of people being able to literally plan out their solar installations, which is a good thing for us.
Yes, I think that effect we saw in June and hopefully in the coming months as well. So fingers crossed for a good Q3 and Q4.
Yeah. Usually quarter three and quarter four always better than quarter two. I mean, for us at least.
Yeah.
But let's, finger crossed. So, Ada, before we start with the interview, I just want to let you guys, the audience, know that Huawei has an amazing support group now on Facebook. You find lots of different information about, Huawei products, the installation, tech, info. So make sure you go on Facebook, go on the search bar, and just type Huawei Solar Installer Group to join.
Fantastic. And the group aims to provide timely support for installers working on Huawei installations across Australia and New Zealand. So don't forget to join to be a part of an awesome community, and you'll find the link in this post. So, Hader, you should know that the questions today have been asked by our customers. So, Didi, what's the first question?
All right. So, Ada, would you please give an easy to understand, very easy explanation of your AFCI enable function on your residential and CNI range?
Okay, I'll try to tone it down as simple as possible. uh, so AFCI, you see, it will be the buzzword after the new AS5033 is released. Because rooftop isolators are suggested to be removed in the new draft, and they have just put in AFCI and rapid shutdown as things to look into. It's not a mandatory requirement, but as we go forward, this will be discussed a lot. So, what is AFCI and why is Australia late to get this on the standards? Arc fault circuit interrupter, as the name suggests, is a mechanism to detect arc on the rooftop. Rooftop fires. In Australia, we had that rooftop isolator, which was a
Mm,
big cause of nearly 400 rooftop fires in 10 years.
Wow.
So, why? Because bad installation, bad product, broken cables, bad joints, loose connectors, water ingress in isolators. They creates an arc, and that arc may burn the roof down.
Wow.
mm,
So, global standards, America and the IEC standards also catching up. They have mandated arc fault detection mechanism on rooftops. So, what are the big challenges? Why can't all inverters, because they are sensing the DC current on the cable, why can't all inverters detect an arc fault on that DC cable? Because that arc will show to the inverter as an AC on the DC cable. So the DC
Okay.
cable of the direct current, it will show as a spike, and the inverter can detect a spike. It's not a regular thing. It's a DC, should be DC, and they disconnect it. What other challenges that inverter manufacturers have in detecting it is, number one, that arc might be at the furthest end of the DC run. So by the time it reaches the inverter, it has dried out, attenuated
Mm.
enough that the inverter doesn't sense it. So sensitivity, one thing. The other thing is any other electromagnetic interference on the roof, switching devices, electronic devices, radio frequencies, they might give an AC overlay on the DC cable. So it might appear as, okay, this is an arc. The inverters will keep tripping. Nuisance tripping, false alarms. And that's why a lot of manufacturers who have this feature, they do two things. Either they disable this feature so nuisance tripping can be avoided.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they say, okay, AFCI is there, but disabled by default. So there's no nuisance tripping. Or the sensitivity is so low that I know there is one installer blogger here in Australia. I was discussing with him the other day, and he's saying that 40 minutes, I was about to burn my roof.
Wow.
He was testing the arc fault for an AFCI product, and he said, I just tried all the combinations, it wasn't tripping. I was about to burn my roof.
Wow.
So why? Because just to avoid nuisance tripping, the sensitivity is
Tolerance.
low. It's not even detecting true arc faults. So how does Huawei address this? Uh, you guys know that Huawei is ranked number 3 in R&D spend as per 2020.
Okay.
And we share a common platform across all our businesses. So an ICT company, big in AI, artificial intelligence.
Yep.
So we use data computing to differentiate between true arc faults and other
False
noises.
alerts.
Yes, so that's through AI, self-learning algorithm. So the same blogger, not a big fan of Huawei, but texted me, okay, I tried Huawei out and it does trip every time.
Yeah.
So it does its job, which is what we
It does
want.
its job. Yes,
And
it's that
study
it
the
does.
numbers and the data.
And yeah, some remarks from some installers here in Australia. We were doing this webinar a couple of months ago, and got some comments there in the chat section that yeah, it did correctly detect a loose connection. It saved my installation. So
Fantastic.
yeah, so that's how we differ
Yep.
with others when it comes to AFCI, because we have that big data computing, AI and data computing business unit which supports us in AI related stuff in inverters as well.
Very good.
Excellent. Haider, you mentioned the
Hello.
AS5033 draft, which is highly likely to increase the domestic voltage limit to 1,000 volts. How does this affect your resi products going forward? Will we still have the three-phase 10 kilowatt L1 and the M1 model, or will
Okay,
things
okay.
evolve?
That's a good question, Tim. What we have in single phase is 6 kilowatt. That's the largest that we have. Three phase, we have 6 kilowatt, the largest as well at the
Okay.
moment. That's called 5 and 6 M1.
Hmm.
That product is tested for AS477 up to 10 kilowatt. So we have 8 and 10 kilowatt M1 as well for the global market, which is a hybrid product.
Okay.
We didn't release that product in Australia despite AS4777 tested because of the 600 volt limit.
Understand.
So with that limit being abolished as the new standard comes into effect, we will definitely be releasing 8 and 10 kilowatt three-phase hybrid inverters here in the Australian market as well.
Okay, so there's a glimpse over the horizon. You guys are already prepared for the change in standard. That's what our
Mm.
customers want to hear. That's
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah, and that's what because now we have M1 and M2, so that differentiate between hybrid and non-hybrid as well. So the M2 products are non-hybrid, M1 products are hybrid. So M1 goes up to 6 kilowatt.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, because before that, remember last generation was M0, 8
Yeah.
KTL M0. A lot of people used to think that's hybrid because somehow they downloaded the data sheet from a global website. Oh, that's a hybrid. No, it's not a hybrid. Look at CEC listing.
Yeah.
Look at this data sheet from the Australian website. It's not hybrid.
Sure.
But now I think
And everybody think he was hybrid.
yeah. So that I think that
Okay.
issue will be resolved, and I think it will be good for streamlining the product as well. Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, now we are very excited about your latest product, the Luna battery. So, what separates the Luna battery from other DC couple solution out there? Also, just the fact that it's beautiful. I mean, look.
Okay.
It is beautiful. I will show some lovely images while you
There you
talk,
go.
Hader.
That differentiation. As smart energy, did you see a more sleek, smart product than this? I don't think so.
I don't
When we
think so
did a
either.
smart energy, this was, I think, our flagship product, which was attracting a lot of traffic to our booth. And after that, we got a lot of inquiries, a lot of excitement. We get this feedback from you and
Mm,
other partners as well that even it's
good.
on the sea at the moment, but I think a lot of uh, it is pre-sold. That's the feedback that I'm
Mm,
getting from you guys and other partners. So that's good. What differentiates it is it's modular. Okay, no, other batteries are modular as well. It's 100% DoD, and it's modular in the sense that you can add a module later, 2, 3 years down the line,
mm,
without affecting the life of the new module because every module has energy optimizers.
Okay.
So that's why you can install a 5 kilowatt hour now, 3, 4 years down the line, family grows, you said, okay, I need 10 kilowatt hour more, I
mm.
need 15 kilowatt hour. Other modular batteries, the new 10 kilowatt hour you have hooked up to the old 5 kilowatt hour, the new ones will be operating at the SOC, at the performance level of the oldest module because they're all in series.
Okay.
What we, yeah, what we do, we let them operate independently through optimizers, energy
Yeah.
optimizers in the module itself. So it's much similar to optimizers on the panels series. So the weakest panel, the panel shaded, will get the output of all the panels down
Yeah. Yeah.
and optimizers. So similar
So it's
concept here.
easy also to track if there is any problem. You know exactly which one is.
Yes,
Yeah.
which one, and it can isolate the faulty product from the other as well.
Okay.
So it lets the modules work independently. And
That's
apart
good.
from that, safety mechanisms like AFCI, the safety mechanisms are AI powered as well. So it keeps sensing the voltages, the current, the temperatures, and detects what fault might be occurring. So there are different levels of safety associated here.
Excellent.
Apart from that, the aesthetic
It
is
is. And also, Hader, I had, and you had, the great privilege of seeing the first of these batteries installed into a household in Australia, and I got to film that experience and also talk to the guys who installed it. And they reported back, one, how easy it was to install, how light it was in that modular form, that the installation, considering no one had done it before in this country, they worked it out very smoothly, and the whole thing went together very easily.
yes. Sorry for this little interruption. Kids
That's
holiday.
right.
So
That's all right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So.
it was. I remember that installation. We have some trial sites, so that was one of the trials that we're talking about,
Yes.
and we were just there to troubleshoot if there is any issue and give the feedback back to R&D that okay, we have to streamline this. But I think installation wise, it was pretty easy. It was like assembling something from IKEA.
Mm,
Everything is there. You just have to put this on this, and then you can tighten it from here. That The DC cables, the COM cables between the modules are in the box, just a matter of assembling them. And commissioning was through the app. So it was pretty simple.
Mm.
So, could you share in terms of backup,
Yep.
like with the release of the Luna, what's the deal?
Okay, so you have seen our inverters. So 6 kilowatt inverter, 12.5 kilo only, hybrid.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the whole deal, because it's a global product, the whole deal is the how advanced in technology this product is. That's only 12.5 kilo and it's hybrid. So we didn't put the backup functionality in the inverter itself because this same inverter is used in 95% of cases globally as a grid connected inverter. With the release
Yeah.
of Luna battery, this battery will pick up that okay, now it's more used as a true hybrid inverter. And there, countries like Australia, which has a weak grid, outages are not common, but something which people want.
Mm.
That's where the backup box will come into play as an add-on, not in the
Okay.
inverter itself, as an add-on. What we
Mm.
have tried to do in the last 2 years or so, we have tried to make it as simple as possible. We got some feedback from installers, we did some surveys, we asked installers who we used to meet, and what do they prefer about how will they be designing a backup solution, and we try to make it as simple as possible. It's yeah, it's an add-on box, but you
Mm.
can uh, back up critical circuit, single phase critical circuit, rewire through an RCD to the backup box, and even if the PV is down, the inverter is faulty, that circuit is still working, not like other solutions in the market, where if the inverter goes faulty, the backup circuit is out of power as well. Now, that's a separate relay. So inverter is off for something, an alarm or whatever, the backup circuit is still working. If the grid goes down and you have PV, so PV is supplying to the backup circuit. The
Okay.
grid isn't recovered, your battery is draining to the backup circuit, and the PV goes down, the battery is drained to the backup circuit. Next morning, your battery is discharged altogether.
I
And
see.
so you don't have PV as well. But as soon as the sun kicks in, it will charge the battery up to 20% and then start supplying to
Mm.
the initial backup circuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have that round the clock supply for
Okay.
For your
your
backup.
Yeah.
essential
Yeah.
circuit until the battery is 20% charged.
Cool. Well, let's change topics. Let's move on to another product that Huawei supply, which is the optimizer.
Hmm.
So, what differentiate your optimizer from others, Australian and non?
Okay. So optimizers, again, like AFCI, this will be another big player in the Australian market because re- similar to AFCI, the new draft mentions rapid shutdown mechanisms as well. So rapid shutdown mechanisms are through optimizers. Uh, in Australia, if we talk about MLPEs, module level power electronics, we have SolarEdge, a big name. We
Mm,
have IGO, we have Huawei. So what
mm,
differentiates Huawei with the others? SolarEdge, leading technology in terms of MLPE. They operate on that the string voltage should be fixed. So the
Mm-hmm.
optimizers are bucking and boosting the voltage to maintain the string
String.
voltage. The inverter itself doesn't have MPPTs. It all relies on the optimizer's MPPT functionality to buck and boost individual optimizer to maintain the string voltage of the 20, 25, whatever panels are in that string. How we differentiate with that is our optimizers only reduce the voltage when it's needed, if there's shading or if there is some sort of mismatch in panels in that string, they just reduce the voltage, they just buck the voltage to maintain the string current. So it doesn't put much effort on the optimizer itself because the optimizer is only working when it has to.
Mm.
The other difference is we don't need to install optimizers under every panel. You install optimizers only on those panels which are shaded or of a different type, just to
Mm.
maintain the string current.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
doesn't drag down, so that shaded or less performing panel doesn't drag down the output of the other panels. So you can install optimizers only when required.
So only on the particular panel that you know is going to be affected by shade.
Yeah.
And that obviously lowers your cost across the range.
Yes. So isn't that what Tigo does as well? Tigo, they do the
I
same thing.
think it's
Yeah.
American. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. But for Tigo, you can't monitor those panels. With Huawei, you can monitor those panels if even if it's
Okay.
partially optimized. You don't have to install any additional devices.
Yeah.
You can monitor those optimized panels through Fusion Solar app. It will be paired up immediately. If you have optimizers, when you
Okay.
do commissioning, it immediately pairs up, okay, you have this many optimizers. So you don't
Excellent.
have to manually add them. And if you look into that optimizer comparison photo, so it's half the size now. So we delayed the release of our second gen optimizer. If you look into that photo, yep. So on the middle, that's the Huawei first gen optimizer.
Ah,
And
And
the
now it's
new
half the
optimizer,
size.
yeah, so that
it's
was
so
375
small.
watt, and the new one is 450 watt, but it's half the size. It's just the new chipset that we were developing, which is much faster, much advanced.
Did you guys launch the second generation this year or?
It was last year. It was
Ah,
last
okay.
year. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's tiny.
Excellent.
Cool.
Well, we know about optimizers, we know about the lunar battery, and we now have some amazing offers. Two incredible promotions from Huawei until the end of July. The first is purchase a Huawei 50 KTL or 100 KTL and get a smart logger worth $500. So that looks like an awesome offer for our customers. What do you
And you
think,
need the
Haider?
smart logger, right, Ada, for the 50 and the 100 kilowatt system?
Yes, if you have a smart logger, you have a lot of functionality to hook up third-party devices. You can connect up to more than 10 devices. You need a smart logger. If you need to hardwire to the router with a 50 and 100, you need a smart logger.
Okay. So
So
it's
third-party
definitely smarter.
devices, hardwire to the router, that's where you need a smart logger. And
Okay.
I know project managers, engineers, they were okay with the smart logger because it gives a lot of functionality and
Hmm.
visibility for the plant.
Yeah. You're missing out if you don't.
So I think it's a good offer of getting it for free.
Yeah. $500 saved. The second offer is a residential package, battery ready. So it does include a 5 kilowatt and a 3 kilowatt inverter for only $1,800. So, Ada, why would installer want to add a 5 and a 3 kilowatt inverter together?
I think the price that you guys have come up with is pretty good.
Mm,
Thanks for coming up with this offer.
yeah.
This 5 KTL plus 3 KTL L1, what advantage does this give to the customers is we know from all the market data that the average system size is going up.
Mhm.
70% homes in Australia are single phase and they
Mm,
want more solar. Gearing up for EV or whatever you want to say, they want more solar. On the same
mm,
time, there are news that feed-in tariff is being reduced, slashed. A lot
Mm.
of people who used to install solar just for feed-in tariff, now they have question mark. Okay, why? Why? I'm
mm,
not using that much in the day. I will be selling to the grid. Why I'm not paid that much? That's where this hybrid combo comes into play. Larger rooftop, 8 kilowatt AC, and hybrid solution. So you have 5 and 3 kilowatt hybrid inverter, battery ready. When you
yeah.
install a battery, when the feed-in tariff is actually slashed, you don't have to invest more on a AC coupled battery or get another inverter just to hook up a battery to it. Or you can get a battery now. So it gives a lot of flexibility. Larger rooftop, you might have different orientation. It gives you 4 MPPTs as well. So I think this, especially with the
It's a
price that you guys have come up with, I think it's very attractive.
Going to be a red hot deal.
yeah, fully independent. So if anyone is interested in this new promotion, make sure you contact your account manager for more details, or you can send an email to me and team on marketing@onestopwarehouse.com.au.
Now, Haider, thank you for your time today. You've educated me, you've educated Didi, and we know that you've educated our customers on the value of the Luna and on optimizers and these great deals. So thank you for your time today. And Huawei have very kindly given us 2 videos to close the show out with. They're short, but they teach a lot. So we're going to
But
finish off with those.
before we leave Ada, let's. Do you have anything else to share before you go?
Okay. So,
Any webinars, any
yes.
portal, anything?
We 2 weeks ago, I think it was 14th of June, we did our first Luna webinar, which was for a
Okay.
close group of Huawei approved retailers. So we have a Huawei retailer program
Mm-hmm.
where we give exclusive trainings. If you sign up, you don't need anything in particular. You sign up, you are part of this exclusive group.
Yeah.
You get exclusive trainings like we did 2, 3 weeks ago
Very
for
good.
the sales and design with the Luna battery.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Uh,
awesome.
yep, I think next week the shipments are arriving. We will be doing an installation training as well for the Luna battery. So that's for approved retailers, exclusive group for approved retailers. Approved retailers are also getting some upfront discount on the Luna battery as well.
Very good.
So I just want to give this message that if you don't know about the exclusive Huawei approved retailer program, contact One Stop Warehouse or contact us, and we'll talk you through it, and you can sign up for it and get benefit of these exclusive programs.
Lovely.
Fantastic. Well, thank
Good.
you, sir. Thank you for your time. Thank you for teaching us. And we'll finish with these great videos. See you, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
Tim. Thanks, Edie. Yeah.
Bye.